All right, we're back for another episode of Reliving the Amazing Race. And we're in Colombia.
Colombia
Colombia, not
as
Colombia. What were your thoughts going into this leg? So we're starting, what, seventh? So we were in the second group to take off.
as you're getting there, you're like pointing off into the horizon, and you kind of see this big rock, and you're like, babe, we're probably
Probably,
gonna climb that
you
thing.
literally said that. You're like, we're climbing that rock.
Did you feel like it was a lot?
So I think I agree with Angie. She said that Mexico was more exhausting. I thought Mexico was so hot. Like Colombia was like humid, but there was like a breeze. Like I felt
And
like
it
it
was
wasn't as hot.
and it was like overcast a little bit
Mhm.
with some breakthrough sun. So it
Right.
was actually perfect for a day like that. We ran off with Juan and Shane,
Mhm.
and who else?
Yvonne and Melissa, I think were in our group, and was Danny and Angie? Yeah.
So we were in that second group, and we looked around. We're like, as long as we can consistently keep up our pace, we should be able to outwork these people that are against us. How's
Uh,
your back, by the
my
way?
back is great, feeling really good over here. So no medical problems. I don't have a bad back. Just want to clear that up for everyone watching. What people are arguing that we started out with two bags and then we got rid of my bag because I have a bad back,
It's funny.
apparently.
It's funny how people will start to just make stuff up.
We literally just had to get up this dang rock and there was a clue box at the very top. So, and the clue was cooking or something with a pack in a car. I don't.
Yep, how?
Yep. How?
And then we run down,
Yep.
and when we run down, Rick,
One.
Juan and Shane are pretty close behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get down there. We're asking somebody, hey, how do you get to the taxi,
Water
the
taxi.
water taxi place? And so they tell us, and there's actually two routes. What we'll do is we'll pop it up on the screen. There's two routes. There was a route to the right and a route back down to the left.
Mm-hmm.
And to the left was like the original path that everyone kind of came up. We came up that way. And if you go down to the right,
Mm-hmm.
it was the evacuation route,
Right.
which was like an emergency situation. So I figured we should go to the right. I'm confident we're going to get down there first.
So Juan and Shane were also getting directions. He went the opposite route that we did. And we thought we were ahead. We thought we beat them to our boat. We get in our boat and we're cruising. We think that we're still in the lead from our group. We see Juan and Shane getting out of their boat.
As we pull up.
And I think my mouth dropped. I was just like,
I know. I'm
where
surprised
did
that
they come from?
I'm surprised they didn't put that part, and we were just like, what the
I thought you
heck?
guys were like way behind us.
And that just again puts a fire back under your booty.
Yeah.
And we get on ground and we start hustling to find this place.
So let's talk about the scene though, right before we get to the cooking of us on the boat. I really like that scene because it was almost like foreshadowing what was to come. You were like, we're not coming in last again. If anything, we're going to climb the ranks.
It was like I was stating it to be true, right?
You believed it, and it happened.
In your clue, they had a daisy. I'll show you a picture. I'll put it up on the flash. We actually took our notes and we drew it out. And you had to then find the cooking station that matched your card.
And I start looking at the ingredients, all the things that we need. We have to make 3 dishes. I know what plantains are, I know the rice, beans, whatever. I'm like, we need to, get all this stuff going. But in my head, I'm like, we need to figure out the meats because I want to get these meats cooking because they might take the longest.
Thankfully, we knew a little bit, and we had some people helping us. We had that dude next to us. I was like,
so
bro,
helpful.
what is this? Which one's each your own? And he was super helpful. I think he was like looking to have a plate after he was going to eat our plate after we cooked it. In this part of the race, we actually struggled a lot.
And they did not even show it, but you'll see that Busy and Sunny passed us in the cooking challenge, and we got there before them because they were in the last group to leave. And they ended up passing us. And I was like, how did they get done so fast? Like what went wrong? And it was that one meat that we were trying to cook.
It was one dish. Part of that dish was that it was like a steak piece,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a thicker piece of meat, and I wasn't sure if we were supposed to fry this or we were supposed to pan sear it.
Mm-hmm.
But all I knew was like, all right, put some oil in there.
And you put a shit ton of oil.
And then the rain started coming down, the water started coming into our pot, and then we were just kind of scrambling, like, what are we doing?
And
I
didn't show any of that.
and I couldn't get it to cook.
Yeah.
So then finally, people are passing us, and I'm like, is it too much oil? And so we take our pan and put the oil in another pan that's a little more shallow,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when we got a little action going.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the scene where you were stressing me out.
Oh, when I was giving you a little tone? Yeah.
So this is our third leg, right? So we're trying to figure out this whole reality TV thing. You have camera guys in your face constantly asking you questions. It doesn't matter if you're doing a detour, it doesn't matter if you're doing a roadblock. And I feel like people don't talk about this enough. I cannot focus on the task at hand if I have someone in my ear asking me questions. So in that scenario, the camera guys were asking me questions, and so I was trying to kind of balance and be like, all right, we're in a good place. We're not fighting for last place. Let me give the camera guys what they're wanting and kind of so we can get more screen time. This is a reality TV show.
Amber actually is the one who's telling us as a team what to do. She's reading and telling me we need this or we need that. I need you to start cooking this. And that's why there was that scene where it was like, hey, we can't move forward unless we figure out what chicharron was. So I quickly turned to the dude. And I'm like, where's chicharron? Is this chicharron? Okay, this is chicharron. Let's go. We got chicharron. Let's cook. And she's like, all right, go do that. And so she's actually the one telling me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And when she goes and starts looking at the camera and talking, I don't know what to do next, and I get really flustered.
So Vincent, he's definitely a doer, and he does things very fast, but sometimes he has scatterbrain.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm here to help him stay focused. I'm like, all right, babe, we got to cook the rice next. Let's get the beans going. Let's start the meat. All right, moving on. So we get our dish approved first try.
Again, one and done team strategy accomplished.
One and done, baby. So we get it approved, and then we have to make our way to the Tut-tuts, smart Tut-tuts. So this was really fun. You know, I always watch previous seasons of The Amazing Race and seeing the Tut-tuts, and I'm like, that's like the true Amazing Race experience.
Classic.
And so we get in our Tut-tut, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so fun. Yeah, busy going, let's race around the world.
It's hilarious.
And then we go up this like really steep hill, and the Tut-tut guy just looks at us, and like we're not moving. And Vincent's like, do we need to get out and push? And so we both hop out real quick, and we push this thing like all the way up the hill.
And let's just take a second. Amber jumps out of the car, pushes this thing up the hill, swings off the roll cage, and then hops in the car and like, come on, babe, let's go.
So we get to Casa Loma Farms. We did not know that this was a coffee bean farm. And then we get the roadblock clue, and it says who's feeling picky. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna be picking something. And I'm like thinking about the height difference of us. So I know Vincent's taller. He can reach higher places than me. So maybe Vincent's the best to do this.
Like I ran over to the terrace and I said, oh, we're picking things from these trees. I didn't know what they were, but I saw little red things hanging off of them. I was like, we're just gonna be picking up a bunch of these little cherries.
Well, we don't take much time deciding who's gonna do a roadblock or detour.
Like, actually, we're probably ripping the clue before the cameraman's even ready, and then we gotta do a retake because my monkey ass is just like moving so fast.
So Vincent does the roadblock. I love when I don't have to do a roadblock because you get to use the bathroom and eat. I'm sitting down on the hill. Vincent, he's already got his little hat on with his little basket.
And I couldn't keep the damn hat on my head too because my bun was just in the way, and it was either go in or go out, and then so this hat was just like in my face, just like tilted like Snoop Dogg would rock a cowboy hat like that.
Oh, you looked cute. So we hadn't been there probably 5 minutes. And I hear Vincent go, get ready to run, babe. And I was literally walking to the bathroom when you said that. And I was like, wait, what? Is he done? What?
How long do you think that took?
I would say 10 minutes max.
Really?
Max.
For me, I felt at least 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
At least 15 minutes.
I don't know why. It felt so quick for me. Like I did not have time to do anything other than sit down for a few seconds, and then you were like, get ready to run. I was like, nah, he's gonna have to go back. He doesn't have enough. Like he was too fast. And that's just me thinking like, oh, he was just getting ahead of himself.
Because I can do that.
You can do
I
that.
absolutely can get ahead of myself and think that I have gotten enough. But again, our strategy, one and done. So I kept on telling myself, all right, I need to make sure I have enough. But I think there was some decent luck to that whole piece, because the one place that I do run to is like where all the cherries are. And I'm like just banging them out, double fisting, throwing them in the basket. I was just trying to keep my hat on. I was moving so fast.
So he's getting his bag weighed, and I'm just waiting because I'm like, oh, he's gonna have to go back. And then wait, didn't they try to stop you too? Like, weren't they
Yeah.
trying to like prevent you from? They kept saying like, no, it's not good enough or something.
They're all skeptical
Yeah.
about me finishing so quickly. So I run down there and I'm like, I know this is a kilogram for sure. It's 2.2 pounds, and I'm peeling them off. And as I'm rolling them through, now you got to peel off the outside of the skin. I'm just like, oh, damn, that's going to take some of the weight. But I told myself I'm putting more in this basket than I really need, because I'm going to make sure. So we take that skin off and then we put it on the scale, and boom, 2.2 pounds. 1 kilogram, ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then one of the judges was like, no, no, no. You gotta take out all the skins. And there was like remnants of skins. So I'm going right through them. And then he's still more than enough. He told me to run it through again. So I ran through again. I still got it. And then they finally let me go. So then we're now having to find Phil on the map. Right. And so we're like, all right, Phil is in this orchard. This thing is massive. And we get up to the top, and Amber is just not having it. We're like in the house, running around the back of the house now.
Thinking he's inside.
We're thinking maybe he's in the house. And then we walk in the house and we're like, oh, dude, someone lives here, I think. Let's like not be in here. I'm not sure if
They're making the coffee in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're supposed to be in here. And then Amber was like, come on, babe, let's go. And I don't listen, actually, which is kind of a common theme with our relationship. Sometimes I'll push the limits of how much I have. She says, come on, let's go this way. I'll continue running because there was an edge. And before we turned around, I wanted to just get to the edge and see if he was there. When I look over that edge, I see Phil, and I'm like tripping out. I'm like, babe, he's over here. He's over here.
But like the other teams, we were like within like very short distances of the other teams doing the challenge. So we didn't want them to hear us screaming. So we were like, and then we like got down real low. And we were like so quiet.
Yeah, and Phil was like, what's going on? What are we hiding from? I was like, I don't want the rest of the teams, because if we yell, they know exactly where we're going to be.
Right. And then we get second place.
It's from
Big
12th
jump.
to 7th to second.
So we were feeling pretty good at the end of this leg.
What do you think about that preview, though?
For the next episode, yeah, there's a lot of tears. Danny's not the only one crying on this one. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see it.
Tune in next Wednesday on CBS.
Basically.
Amber is crying because Vinny, what'd you do, Vinny?
Now they might be one of those top teams going forward.
Well, you're right, because he does work well under pressure. Like his job is to work under pressure like that.
Both of them. That is such a valuable point, that they are honestly coming into every task with the intensity of an operating room.